Hi, folks. I'm Stephen Brown, and this is the Creative People Show. And today I have a couple of guests, a father and son duo, and we got Mike and Madison Strain, and they are co-owners of a company called Studio 2060 here in town. And Mike, well, both of them have similar credits to their name, similar things. Both are special effects artists. Pyrotechnicians, producer, actor, makeup artist, stunt coordinators. I don't know if that's what. Well,
I don't really do. We have a local stuntman that we use as a coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Ryan
well,
Shields. And
in
he
your
does a lot
IMDb credits, you had several.
That's when you get forced on set when there's like limited crew and they're like, "Do you know how to do this?" And they're going to hurt somebody, so I step in and go, "No, let's do it this way."
Yeah. So when you stop someone from getting hurt, then you get the stunt coordinator.
Yeah, it's not like I go after it by any means.
All right. Well, good to have you here. I'm glad you contacted me and wanted to come on the show. This is the great example of out of the ordinary. We've had a lot of musicians and actors and writers and producers and directors, but you two are the first special effects people I've had on the show. So talk about your experience, what you want, maybe where you got started, how you got started.
I got started because of my dad. My dad and the whole male side of my family is artistic, could draw, paint, build stuff, and I inherited it for better or worse. And my dad loved movies and loved horror movies as a kid, so from a very young age, I got to watch a lot of the 60s, 70s, 80s horror movie stuff, and just fell in love with all the monsters and stuff. But the big thing that changed it for me was the TV show The A-Team. The character Hannibal, he would always make himself up to sneak in, and I always thought it'd be cool to be able to do that. And my dad explained to me, well, it's makeup, and you do this. And then I discovered Dick Smith and Tom Savini, and went to a local magic shop, and they sold little quarts of latex at the time, and I just all took off from there. I started professionally doing stuff in '87. So
Yeah. Wow.
A couple years ago.
What's the most intricate or complex latex prosthetic you've done? Or
I don't know. What do you think? I've done so many things. One of my favorite things, which is kind of odd that I did, was we were doing a web series with a local group, and they ended up casting Madison to play a scout. So I ended up having to make a severed head of my child. He was 15 or 16 at the time, and we still have it. And but that worked out well. But there's just a lot of things.
There's a lot of cool things. There's a lot of stuff that people don't think about. Like when it comes to, for instance, stunts. We worked on a movie called Treehouse, and I forget the actress's name. What was her name? Do you remember?
Melanie.
I forget her name, but she was running barefoot throughout the whole movie. She was running through a field, and there was sticks and stones and all kinds of stuff she could scrape her feet on. So he ended up making fake feet that were like shoes that she could wear. So she ran, and she would, protect her feet and whatnot.
That makes sense.
So
because I could not do that.
Yeah.
I can barely walk out, without shoes to get the paper. My feet are so sensitive. But anyway. My wife is the one that likes to go without shoes, but she's from Oklahoma, so I don't know. And I'm from Arkansas, so whatever that means. So you kind of fell into it the same way he did, only.
Yeah, believe it or not, my dad got me into special effects too.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
So it's kind of been a family thing passed down from generation.
I grew up playing with fake severed heads and body parts and limbs, all that kind of stuff. And I remember as a kid, everybody was like, "Oh, he's the weird kid because he's playing with all this stuff." But it was always fun with me. I was never scared of watching a horror movie as a kid. I always, even to this day, of course, once you get into making movies, you kind of see films as you watch them from a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
I never watched a horror movie and said, "Oh, that's such a scary scene or a jump scare or whatnot." I always watched it and thought, how would they create that with lighting or camera work and all kinds of stuff.
So it kind of ruins the movie for you in the entertainment aspect of it, because you're not letting your guard down. You're not suspending your disbelief.
I try to. Sometimes you can. Yeah, but it's more enjoyable to me, honestly, to be able to recreate a certain scene in my mind, how they would set it up.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, what's the most recent thing you've done? I know myself, but I just want you to talk about it.
We just wrapped a film called Aging Predators. We actually just turned down a film project in Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's got a couple of big name actors in it and stuff, but they just schedule wise, we're only able to go down a couple of weeks, and they need us for the full 4 weeks, so we had to turn it down, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I know Mike and I have been involved in several projects together. Taney Como, you were involved in that. Sun, most recently, SUN. It's a short film by who was it?
Kong Tao.
Kong Tao. Yeah. And I played henchman number 3, and I got killed in that one. And the fight scene, we practiced that quite a few times, and so that was interesting. It's a great film. I think it turned out well. Did you see it?
Yeah, we did, and he's actually writing. Is he writing a feature version of it now?
I think so.
Oh,
he's working on the
yeah.
script.
I heard about that.
So yeah,
That'd be nice.
it's going to have a lot more stunts and effects in it too.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Of course, I think the 3 main stars were perfect for those roles.
Yeah, they had a good chemistry.
Jerry Mack Johnston, he's a consummate professional. I had him on a few weeks ago. You know, he has over 300 credits in acting and film, theater, and
he was in Vincent's Vow with us. And
was he?
We've used him in a couple other things too.
Yeah,
so.
I see him all over the place. He's a great man. Got lots of stories. Speaking of stories, tell us about the most interesting thing that you've experienced on set.
There's a lot of just random stuff. I remember we were filming on a movie in New York, in Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
And one of the actors was Derek Mears, the guy who played Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th.
Oh, really?
And they came out, it's the last one they did in like 2011.
He's played Predator, he's played a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in the Predator, he's in the Swamp Thing on CW, he's played the monster. We're sitting there and we're in some apartment or something, some business room upstairs in downtown Rochester, New York. And we're sitting there and we're doing room tone, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's, okay, room tone, we're gonna roll for like 2 minutes, everybody be quiet. And you tell your side of the story, what you remember.
Well, we had just
Let me hold you right there. When you mentioned room tone, some of our people who are not involved in film or TV, if you don't know, room tone is whenever the sound guys, everyone has to be quiet, and they just get an ambient sound. Like right now, I can hear my AC running, and they get that ambient sound so they can keep that constant tone throughout the shots. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, we just wrapped up a blood gag. A guy got shot. So I was in the bathroom rolling up the hose for the air compressor, and they called room tone. So everybody stopped. So he just stopped working.
Yeah.
And we were standing there for a minute, and then like 30 seconds in, we hear it had wood floors, and you hear the floor creak. And we're like, and then we hear people kind of laugh and joke, and I'm in the bathroom. I can't see what they're doing. I'm like, all right, let's do it again one more time. So they do it again, 30 seconds later. I'm like, what is going on? So that time, they laugh. So I open the door, and I step out in the doorway, and I'm see what's going on. And Derek is standing, and he has a prop shotgun, and Madison's standing in front of him. And then there's all the cast and crew and the AD standing around him. We're like, all right, let's try it again one more time. And they roll it. And they're standing there, and I see Madison turn and look at Derek, and Derek goes like this. And the AD's trying not to laugh already. Derek takes the shotgun, and he pushes Madison, makes him take a step during the room.
So he leans forward.
Derek, he's a great guy. He's a super sci-fi nerd, super hilarious, a very talented actor, stuntman too. He did great stunts in this film, but he kept it fun. It was a lot. It was the whole cast and crew was great, but Derek was a blast. So
cool. Yeah, I imagine you've met quite a few people in the industry.
Been blessed, yeah. We've been able to do a lot of people, including yourself. You know, a lot of people all over. We filmed in LA, filmed in New York, and everywhere kind of in between. So.
Wow, yeah, all from here in little old Springfield, Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't realize how big the film and entertainment in Branson, of course, but the film community and acting community in the Springfield, Missouri area is bigger than you might think. Yeah. But I almost always run into someone I know on set.
Right.
Every once in a while, and I like this too, to see that my field is expanding. You know, sometimes I'll go on a set that I don't know anybody, so that's fun. If you could give some advice to anyone who wants to get into your field, or fields, plural. What would you say to them?
Of filmmaking or special effects? Either
Anything?
one.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Run. Get a real job. Have insurance.
Yeah.
No, the biggest thing is just don't give up, because you're going to be beat down. Everybody's going to tell you you're not going to make it. You just got to keep going. If you have a passion, just follow your dream.
It's got to be a passion.
It has, because we're definitely not rich from doing this. You
don't do it for the money. You do it because you want to create and inspire people. You want, the next generation to see what you've made, and
I mean, it pays our bills, but we're by no means flying to Hawaii every weekend, so we'd like to.
But when you go on those long haul shoots, like in New York and California, you make sure your expenses are covered.
Yeah, and a lot of those. I mean, we've had a few local. A lot of times it's when projects come in, or like we travel out or whatever, they'll pay, the day rate, which is what you normally get. Then they plus pay the effects cost if we're doing effects, and then the bonus thing, which a lot of people aren't going to know, you can explain, is per diem. You get per diem. That's like the icing on the cake, because it's like usually it's like a $50 bump every day, and you're just like, I got $50 extra for just going to buy a candy bar and a donut, and that's all. When I first started, I did Rescue 911 back in the 80s down in Joplin in Oronogo, Missouri, and
Really?
they gave us per diem, and I didn't know what it was. So every day before the next day's shoot, I would run to Walmart, buy a new pair of jeans and new T-shirts. So every day on set, I had brand new clothes. I was living high.
Styling.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah. I thought per diem was a military term. We got that when we go on TAD or some schooling. When we go school somewhere else. But it's in the film industry too. I've been seeing that more recently too. That's the thing. When you're traveling to go do a job, for me as an actor, for you guys doing special effects, whatever, the crew, they usually want to make sure the crew is well compensated, because they don't get the in front of the camera screen time that helps them out too. But just like we say in music, as a band, people say, well, you can do this for exposure. Yeah, where do I spend those exposure bucks?
That's right.
Yeah.
Or IMDb credits.
Credits, yeah. That's good, all good and well, but it doesn't put gas in my tank.
Doesn't pay your rent. That's no way. Yep.
Yeah. Studio 2060. I noticed you've got the shirt on.
Yes, sir.
You co-own that, and talk about that for a little bit.
Actually, Studio 2060 was started in 2010 is when we actually got the LLC started it.
Yeah.
I had a production company prior called Oak Tree Studios for about 15 years. So we just parlayed it into Studio 2060 because we're in Springfield and our address is actually 2060 East McDaniel.
Yeah.
So that's how it came Studio 2060.
Yeah, I've
and
been there.
we got the LLC and then it has, with the pandemic, everything's turned into a storage unit at the moment, but we're trying to reorganize, get back rolling, because we've been super busy this year. Last year during the pandemic, we did.
Yeah, we only worked on
we worked for
projects.
one company on two things. We did green screen VR stuff for a shoot.
We did some stunt rigging for that, so they actually made it came out. It's a Tarzan VR video game. So it was like through I believe it was the Oculus is what it's called. So they put on the headset and everything, and we put them in a harness and wired them up. So they would put on the headset within the green screen room or wherever they were at, and the background in the video would change to, they're in the game type of thing.
Yeah.
So you really get that feel, and they changed their wardrobe and everything. And
the actors could flip. We put them on a fly rig so they could flip and turn. And
you got a room that's all green screen?
we did. We shot at another studio here in Springfield.
Oh, okay.
So
But I
they
mean,
have a
in
small
your
facility.
Studio 2060.
We did at one time. We had a full-size green screen in our area, in our studio, but we didn't use it well enough. I mean, we used it a few times, and a couple people rented it, and now we have backdrops we can drop up. So we ended up redoing the walls to just make them into sets.
Yeah.
They're just neutral, so we can just build
Green
sets real
screen
quick.
is so cool.
Well, I was going to say with studio, since I've been doing stuff with studio, we've done about 40-something projects. 40 features based out of the studio kind of thing. We're either on location or at our studio. In Vincent's Vow, we shot probably about half of the film maybe at the studio. We just rebuilt sets, redressed them.
Yeah.
The hospital scene, apartments, the dojo, a lot of that stuff. And we filmed outside on the street and all that. So it's nice to be able to use it because we have you know, the access to all the space. We have a 3-bay garage space and a single bay, and but being able to shoot even out front, drag the cords out for power and stuff. It makes
Was Aging Predators, the sets that he built, was that in your studio? Or is
no, that was
someone
in
else?
his own garage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas Turbyville, who's a writer and producer and director of this new movie feature film called Aging Predators, and you guys were involved in that, and I'll be shooting my scene sometime, maybe next year.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a very epic. From what I've seen so far, the images, the still shots look pretty good.
Oh my gosh, David Watson's cinematography is.
Oh yeah,
He's really on the
amazing.
rise. Yeah.
and he talked about experience or advice for anybody wanting to get into the field. Did you think of anything that you would like to add to that?
It was just the same thing, you know, it's just, you have to do it because you love it. You know, you can't just get into the industry expecting to just become a millionaire. You know what I mean? You have to, like I said, do this because you want to inspire people is at least my biggest reason for, you know, for being in it.
Yeah, I think we all want to leave a legacy behind, you know, when we leave this earth. You know, some people can enjoy your work even for years to come after you've gone. I know that's kind of a macabre way to look at it, but you guys can handle that.
Yeah.
You do. You said you've been doing some more AD work, assistant director, and director work. What have you done in that?
Vincent's Vow is a big one that I did. I was kind of just thrown into the role, but I just noticed, you know, if you have people running around and, you know, not really, oh gosh, how can I say this?
Not organized, but not
it.
focused. Not
Yeah.
everybody knew what they needed to do. So.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody's professional, everybody's trying to get their work done, but there needs to be somebody to communicate in between, you know, different groups of
Yeah, the director is
people.
focused on the shots and the lighting and everything like that,
Yeah.
and the AD, of course, I've done that in a couple of things, but you know, wrangling everybody,
Right. Saying,
Basically,
okay, we need effects here in, you know,
like
10 minutes. that kind of
herding
thing.
cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is you have to know how many shots you can get and realistically how long it's going to take you to set up, you know, each shot and like you said, wrangle people or, you know, do certain effects
Keep
and
the
stuff.
keep the clapboard straight, you know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so they know what scene is being shot.
Yeah.
I've been noticing some projects have switched from the physical clapboard to like an iPad, you know, with the digital thing on it. That's
I know
kinda cool.
Kong Tao, he has one on his phone. It's like an app, and I guess whenever you hit it, it's like the digital.
Yeah, it
but
makes
it also does something with the sound, like it starts recording sound or something like
And it
that.
syncs everything.
Yeah, it
he's
syncs
got set
everything
up,
up.
That's
so.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to do that manually with this because I've got the audio track, and I put that underneath, and I got to move the audio and video to match it up.
Yep.
Otherwise, it looks like a bad old martial arts film.
That's right. We love those too.
You can even clap without the slate if you just
Yeah.
clap. You know, you
Yeah,
can look at the
yeah,
peak
we've
and-
had people do that. You know,
Yeah.
just clap their hands. You know, that's for the sound guy. You know, so you can see the spike. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say some of the other stuff that you've done besides Instance Val, because we
Hey,
did a
boys.
couple of videos, did the B video.
Yeah. So, do you know who Jennifer Butel is?
I've seen the name. Oh yeah, yeah.
So she's doing
I've not met her.
she's done a lot of, I guess, stage stuff.
She
Yeah,
does
she's
a
done a
lot,
lot of
of
theater.
stage stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of theater.
So she's an awesome lady. We just worked, did a music video for one of her songs called "My Buzzin' Bee," and we did like
Yeah, I saw this stuff.
we filmed for 2 days. It was like a Saturday, Sunday, and we built a whole intricate set, and it was supposed to be like a bar. So there was a stage, the bar, and then like the area you sit down type of thing. And did all kinds of color stuff, and everybody had like, it was all black and white, and then everybody had like a yellow highlight, like Sin City. You ever seen Sin City?
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
kind of has like some red on them.
Right.
So David Watson's going to color correct that. We filmed it, and everybody's going to have something yellow, so it'll be really, really neat.
It's a film noir kind of.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
noir
yeah.
style.
Yeah.
We filmed 2 days. The first day we filmed, it was like a short film. So she walked in, they had, you know, dialogue and whatnot. She went to sing the song, so it kind of cut to a music video and then comes back and ends the music or the short film. So she wants to enter that into some
Festival.
yeah, film festivals and whatnot.
That reminds me of something that I need to tell my viewers that are not experienced in film. you said you shot for 3 days, and this was for a music video, so
Yeah.
for one song.
Yeah.
3 days to shoot film, to distill it down into a 3.5 minute song or 4 minute
This
song?
one actually ended up being, it was like a 4-minute song, but it was like a
Added
total
some
of
stuff.
7 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I've
Yeah.
noticed that more too. But in the film and shooting TV episodes, whatever, you tend to shoot a lot more raw footage than you actually use,
Yeah.
because you got the B-roll, you got second shoots or third shoots for safety and that kind of thing. They always do that. You do one scene, do it again, do one more for safety.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
And it really depends on how intricate the shot is. I mean, if you have something that's really a lot of people acting, extras or background or
Yeah.
high special effects or something.
One person can be out of place and go, oh,
Yeah.
let's do that over.
And you
let's
can
move
sit
that
there,
over here.
for 12 hours filming all day for like a 20-second clip.
I know. Yeah.
And then this one, we actually had dancers, and this was the first time when we got the gig, and he was going to direct it, and like, it has dancers, and he's like, I don't know, I've never done dancers. Now that we've done it, he choreographed it with the dance choreographer, and he helped do shooting with the DP and stuff, and it turned out really cool. So
Yeah, so basically they had to interact, the characters had to interact with each other, and then they would interact with the dancers in one way or another.
Yeah.
So the dancers would be in the background, and the actors would be in the foreground.
Wow.
So I had to choreograph that to work, and what's his name? It was a choreographer. He was a super cool
Jacob
guy.
Dick.
Jacob Deck, yeah, he was a super
Okay.
guy. He's done a lot of stuff for MSU, I believe.
Well, he does a lot of stuff in Branson and all that.
Yeah.
So.
But I just treated it like it was stunts. Yeah, you have to choreograph with in between actors and stuff. That was my mindset for that, and we edited it, and it turned out pretty awesome.
Because the four of them are dancing, and the main character
Yeah,
walks through
I
them as
see
they
that,
dance
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's
And we actually cut 2 videos out of it. We did a music video and then a short film, which is the pre and post, dialogue between the characters.
There's lots of recording studios here in town and in Branson.
I know there's local people. I don't know them personally, but I've known of people that even do instrumentals for like Drake. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
The rapper.
Yeah.
We know guys that do CGI for like the Avengers movies and big stuff, even here locally.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the good thing about IT and technology is you don't have to be in LA or Atlanta
Right.
to do it. You can do it from home.
A lot of remotely. Especially, that's one thing that last year has ramped up more remote work, I think, and given us more opportunity to do more remote work. I do voiceovers, and I can just do it in my little office there and edit it, send it off to someone, and they put it in their video or whatever.
We can't really do that though with what we do.
No.
We do physical, practical, on-set kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I do everything from basic makeup to monsters, full-body creatures, wind, rain, snow. I have rain towers, and I have a pyro license, so
Yeah.
we blow up cars, do bullet hits on people, and then work a lot, like I said, with stunt coordinator Ryan Shields, and I've set him on fire. I don't know how many times. He does body burns, so.
Wow.
But yeah, we just like to do that kind of stuff on set, and I like it when it's enhanced. Because of course, when CG first started, they're like, it's going to kill the practical effects industry, and it didn't. It did take over a lot of stuff, but like we did the movie in New York, The Aggression Scale, and we did all practical, and they came in and enhanced it with the CG, and it married it together and made it look so much better. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you do it right, it works great.
We did a cool one with Ryan. We were just doing some test burns for him, and
It's for his birthday.
yeah, he wanted to, yeah. But we did a full body burn on him, and we took a few hours just to set it up, and we have the gel and everything to do it properly. We don't just light somebody on fire, obviously.
Yeah.
But we did that, and
In the snow.
it was in the snow, so that was a really big thing. It was.
had never
we
done
took
it.
the
That was
video,
cool.
and yeah, it was snowing. He was walking around on fire in slow motion. It was super neat.
What's the most elaborate special effects you've had to do?
Most elaborate and one of the most stressful. I think we just did a film 2 years ago, which isn't out yet. It's in post production.
Yep.
It's called Freedom's Path, and it was shot down in Arkansas about the Civil War and the Underground Railroad, and we had dozens of soldiers, on both sides of the line, and we had dug holes and put lift charges and like ground explosions, and we had wires running, and they had guys on horses, and they basically had to walk past all of our pyro and then once they got to a certain distance, we could start detonating it. So that was one of the most stressful things I've had to do was let all these guys walk past all this stuff live, and then as soon as they would clear it, we would go hot with the pyro. Then once they got to their safety distance, we would start detonating all this stuff. And
Oh yeah. Have you ever done one of those cool explosions where the hero is walking out of a building and then it just explodes behind him and he just keeps walking without even...
we've done a couple little things, but actually a short film that we did a couple of years ago that Madison directed called Buddy Cops: The Stakeout, which is getting ready to come out. We're going to start entering it in festivals. It's turned out so well that Ray Roberson, who played the lead in Son, it's his idea, his story, and we're helping writing it with him, and then he's actually writing the feature version of it. So there's a scene in the feature film version where him and Tyler, his partner, the characters, they come out of a building and the countdown's running, so they run and dive, hit the ground, and nothing goes off, and then they stand up, and as they do, it goes off, and there's that split second where they look like heroes, and it knocks them back down, kind of thing. So we're going to get to do that hopefully next year. It's an action comedy. The short film was like that. We blew up a car for the short. We did a car crash.
Where do you get these cars? Just the
excuse me,
junkyard? Or?
We buy them a lot of times. People donate them. Wherever we can find them.
They have to look like a regular car,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to restore them to a certain level, at least appearance-wise.
The biggest thing is air up the tires, put a new battery in them, kind of thing, and then like the one we did, we had to crash. So what we do is we disconnect, take the fuel tank off completely, and then we put a 1 gallon basically fuel cell in the trunk. So if there's anything happens and it goes bad. You don't even put up a full gallon. You usually put about a quarter of a gallon of fuel, so that way if there's any issue, you don't have like 30 gallons of gas everywhere, kind of thing. So
if you have to do it again,
you have to prep them. You have to prep them a little bit. And this car that we use for Buddy Cops, a friend had actually given it to us. It had a blown rod in it, so it knocked real bad. But
so we had to redo all the sound because he actually drove the car and crashed it for the
So on set it was real loud, but it sounds like a hot rod.
Yeah, when you destroy a car, you can't reshoot that unless you have an identical car to do it with. Yeah. And
we shot, I think we had 5 or 6 cameras when we actually crashed it into a bunch of barrels with water, and then the character gets shot in it later, so there's blood splatter all over the inside of the car, and we just left it because we knew we were going to junk it, and then I had somebody contact me and ask me about the car and what year is it, and it was the same year they needed. And the guy goes, I need that transmission. Was it good? And so the engine wasn't, the transmission was fine. And he goes, I'll give you this much for it. And I go, okay, you want to come look at it? He goes, nope, I don't need it. And he showed up, and I'm like, that's fake blood inside, just so you know. And he goes, I don't care, I just need the transmission. So I ended up selling the car, making $1 off of it. So.
Something you said a while ago reminded me also about filming. Sometimes you can wait a year or 2 or 3 before the actual finished product actually comes out in post-production and so forth. They either run out of money or they're just taking longer in post than what they thought. And you never know. And sometimes it'll be scrapped completely. All the work you did in it, and it just never takes off.
Well, that's why we, as a Studio 2060, are helping produce more projects, and we're putting ourselves more in, because we offer a lot to the project, but trying to own more of the projects, so that way when something goes bad and somebody don't want to finish it, we're like, we put all this work into it, we're going to at least get it done so people can see it if it doesn't get out. So that's what we've been trying to do these last few years. So I can't think of anything else. I mean, he's like just recently shot a music video for a local rap group, Dom D and his guys.
Yeah, they're called Dom D and the Illicit Boys. They have some music coming out. Yeah, they're Southern Springfield. We went to Branson. They had a whole concert and everything. They went out
in
Seymour area. Yeah, they did a concert out there, and I filmed that. And then we went to Branson. They rented out like a giant Airbnb type of thing, and they had all their friends. There's like 5 guys in the group or 4 guys, and all their their wives and kids and everybody were out there. And we just stayed there for the weekend, played basketball, drove golf carts and everything, and we just made a cool music video out of it, and it turned out really, really good.
So I mean, Buzz and Bee's going to be released soon. Buddy Cop Short will be released soon. And I think Jennifer's wanting to do another video. She's already sent us a new song, and
I didn't know she wrote.
Oh yeah, her stuff, and it's really, really good. She's very talented.
What style is that she used?
The Buzz and Bee was a film noir, and
so
then
it's like a jazzy kind of
the song. Yeah.
What kind of style?
Yeah,
It's kind of a jazzy kind of,
jazzy,
yeah.
okay.
And then the other one she's got is Scarlet Road, which is a kind of it's like a horror theme actually, and it kind of fits us. But then I know we're also have I think a video shoot coming up for a band that's doing the music for Eldridge USA. They've already recorded some stuff, but
Yeah.
they're wanting to do another one, and it's kind of a light rock kind of. If you need a music video or feature film made, call Madison. You need an actor, call Steve.
Do you have a website?
We do. The website for the studio isn't done. It bounces you to Facebook right now,
Facebook
but it's
page.
studio2060.com.
Okay.
And then our special effects company is fantasycreationsfx.com.
I saw that. Yeah, I'll put that on the bottom of the screen. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out.
Of course.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No worries, we appreciate it. Yeah, when I saw your first couple episodes, I had messaged you and said you should have Madison on the show. Then he's like, "Well, what about you?" And I'm like, "Okay."
I knew you could talk.
I just trying to promote Madison.
He likes to talk.
I won't shut up.
Thank
I
you all.